was love at first sight. The way things were going, I was like, he's gonna end up dead.
I got my first threat letter to the house with a hand grenade. And that says, we know who you are, we know what you're doing, and if you're not gonna quit, we're gonna kill you and your family.
He has to get out of Iraq. I could tell that my government was doing nothing for him. My boss, he was like, well, do you love him? And I was like, yeah. That right there was all I had to say for them to initiate the get her out of the country, separate them.
When you heard that the United States was attacking Iraq, some people decided they were going to fight the Americans. After that point, what did you decide to do?
I actually went the other route. A U.S. convoy rolled into our neighborhood looking for weapons. There was like an American soldier. He was like, you speak English? And I was like, yeah.
Fadi, an Iraqi citizen, served as an interpreter for the U.S. Armed Forces for several years before he met Amanda.
I was from a very small Central Florida town where there were more cows than people. I didn't have money for college. At 17, I joined the Navy's delayed entry program still in high school.
So you end up in Baghdad?
Yes. We were basically tasked with just helping the new government rebuild their intelligence capabilities.
She walked into the office with one of the guys there to introduce her that, you know, hey, she just came from the U.S., she's gonna be working at our office.
He definitely made an impression. He was the only Iraqi I had seen with green eyes.
And did you think she was pretty?
Oh yeah, at the beginning, yes. From all guys to this, and I was like, hey, that's a big change.
And when did you know you were falling in love with her?
Day one.
Probably within the first week or two, I knew that I definitely had feelings for him that went beyond friendship.
And what would you guys talk about?
Anything and everything. She was more curious about my childhood, how was life under Saddam.
So you started dating?
If you call it dating, we were working in the same building every day.
12-hour days, 6 days a week, 7 days a week sometimes, side by side.
So it was an office romance?
Yeah.
Yet you had to keep this relationship a secret?
At the time, yes.
Prior to my arrival there, he had already been working for the U.S. and risking his life for us for over 2 years. And he was telling me about the death threats that he had had. He was telling me about his identity being sold to extremists.
A group of translators decided that they're going on their leave or their vacation. I was like, you know what, maybe I'm not gonna go home right now. I'll just wait until this kind of goes away. Majority of the translators that went home that day didn't make it home. They were all captured and then they were shown on videos being beheaded.
Our enemy is not stupid. Al-Qaeda realized how critical these translators were to our success over there. They were going after them personally to kill them. And so, of course, I was asking my bosses, I'm like, hey, look at what Fadi's going through. We have to get him out. My boss, he was like, well, do you love him? And I was like, yeah. That right there was all I had to say for them to initiate the get her out of the country, separate them. While they're trying to break us up, I'm fighting it. I'm like, no, I'm going to get him out. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you tell me not to do.
You were going to sacrifice
I
career.
will throw it all away. They're like, well, you can't keep your security clearance if you marry a foreign national. I'm like, take it. I don't want it. As soon as I was free from that enlistment and I was done with the Navy, 2 weeks later, I was on a plane back to the Middle East as a civilian. I flew to Jordan, literally the only country on the globe where Fadi and I could both get to. A couple months later, I found out I was pregnant. And he's like, let's have a little talk.
It was like, I don't think it's safe anymore for you to be here, and especially you being pregnant. Put her on the plane kicking and screaming.
Amanda returned to the U.S. alone while Fadi awaited his visa. She gave birth to the couple's first daughter just 6 weeks before he arrived.
He went through all the questioning and they released him, and I was able to bring him home to meet his daughter. We had literally started from scratch when we came out here. You gonna pour some cereal too? Good job. Yeah, you did.
This neighborhood, what's it known as?
The city is El Cajon, but everybody calls it Little Baghdad.
Little Baghdad, here, right outside of San Diego, because so many people are from Iraq. Less than 2 decades ago, America was the enemy, and you've gone from that to falling in love with this American girl. That's a long way. What do you want people to take away from this?
First thing I would say is always fight for who you love. What we had to go through to be together was not your average love story, you know.
Everybody says, you know, yeah, you're from different worlds. Two people that are that different cannot build a life together. I heard it from my family, he heard it from his family. I guess we defied all the odds, or are there really those odds? Or do people just say there are those odds? You know what I mean? You ready?
You got a lot of stuff in this garage. This is stuff your community is bringing together.
This is a small amount right now. Yes, we get church donations, local synagogues donate, folks in the local neighborhood dedicated to helping refugees that are settling in the El Cajon area. John McCain was a huge reason why we have this special visa that these guys can use, because he remembers having to leave behind his Terps in Vietnam. So he really helped us get what's called the special immigrant visa passed through Congress. Right now, there's actually 35 families here, and that equates to about 200 men, women, and children that we're trying to help support right now. They all have the same goals. They want opportunity and a future for their children. They want them educated. So they came here because they really had no other option. And they just want their kids to be happy, they want their kids to be healthy, they want their kids to be safe, and they want the American dream.